Founded in 1894 and still going strong to this day, the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, carrying a vision and a mandate to be the preferred security exchange in Africa. Hello and welcome to this auspicious occasion as the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, in partnership with AMH's Heart and Soul and Business First with McDonald Gurura, launch the ZSE Direct. This is an online platform where there's going to be purchasing as well as selling of shares online. You can do it from the comfort of your home. You'll find out more as we continue with the progression of this event that we have today. And remember, the mandate of the ZSE, including to capacitate economic development for Zimbabwe and Africa. And in line with this mandate, of course, he has launched this unique platform, ZSE Direct. We'll get to hear more, as I said earlier on, the event continues. And first port of call, we'll just get to hear from the Chief Executive Officer, that is Mr. Justice Boni, as he gets to tell us more about this unique product, about what it is about, where it was derived from, and the heart and the soul of it, pun intended right there, the heart and soul of this particular product, ZSE Direct. And let's get to hear from the Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, that's Mr. Justin Boni. We apologize for the lack of sound there, and of course our technical team is hard at work at it, and we'll just get to retake that presentation coming through from the Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange towards the end of the program. But as we continue with ZSE Direct, let's get to hear more from the Marketing and Corporate Affairs Manager, that's Mrs. Tapiwa Bepe, as she gets to just unpack a bit about ZSE Direct.
Thanks so much, McDonald. So as the ZSE, we're really excited to unveil this new offering that is actually meant for the retail investor, for an ordinary investor like yourself and myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take you through the process of how you can actually begin to register an account on ZSE Direct. It's actually quite easy and simple to do so. What you need to do is actually, you can use either your phone, your smartphone, your laptop, or your tablet, as long as it's an internet-enabled device. So you have to log on to our URL, which is www.zsedirect.co.zw. When you log in, you are going to see this landing page with details about trading on the ZSE Direct, and you can actually get more information from this page. For example, if you want to know more about our products and platforms, you can actually click on the links on the home page. So let's get started on how you can actually then create an account on ZSE Direct. To get started, you need to click on the Register tab that is at the top there. Once you click on the Register tab, you'll see that there is this general information that is needed for the client. For example, I'll be using myself as an example. You need to select your title. Let's say you're a Miss or you're a Miss, you select Miss. Input your name and your surname. Take note where it says on the national ID number. We've given you an example there of the format that you're actually supposed to follow. So ensure that you input the correct national ID in that format for your account to actually go through as a successful registration. And also input your date of birth in this order. And select your gender. Take note where there are asterisks, for example, the national ID, the email, and the mobile number. These are important information, so ensure that you input the correct information, as this email is actually your username when you register on the ZSE Direct. Also input your mobile number in this format. Do not include the plus or the double zeros before you input the mobile number. Just start with 263. Type in your physical address. And select your town. You will notice that on the country, you do not have to input anything as it is already grayed out. Currently, on the ZSE Direct platform, this is only available to local residents, that is residents that are in Zimbabwe. But if you're outside the country and you've got a local phone number and a local account, you'll be able to actually register, but you also need to put that local account under your banking details and on the mobile number. So when you register and you're outside the country, do not put a foreign number, but you need to put the local number. Enter your desired password. This is the password that you'll be using to actually log into your account. Do not share this password with anyone for security reasons. Before you actually click on register, there are terms and conditions that you're supposed to read. You will see that if you need to click and download the terms and conditions, you just click on this tab. You need to click on that, read the terms and conditions as an acceptance that you've actually understood what the terms and conditions mean, and then you click on register. So there are two scenarios. There's an account, there's a person who's got an existing CSD number and one without. For this one, this is like a new client who's coming on board, who's never traded on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. So you get this notification. But for a client who's got an existing CSD number, you get this notification after you've inputted those details that I was just going through. That it's like a reminder that we know that you've got your existing CSD number. So the broker that you actually selected will be grayed out for you. So you won't need to then select the broker like a client who's coming on board for the first time. So select your preferred broker of choice. For example, let's say I'm using Wealth Access. Input your banking details. This is important as your banking details are the ones that will be used when you settle your account. So you also need to make sure that you input the correct banking details. can put your occupation, for example, I'm a professional, you can write that. Your work email if you want, and the phone number and the work phone number. These are KYC information which is important for approval of your broker. So take note that when you're inputting this information, it is important for your account to actually get approved on ZSE Direct. So under select source of funding, you've got 4 options that you can actually choose from. For myself, I'll select salary, and then you click on next. At this stage, you now need to upload your national ID and your photo. So you also take note that when you're uploading your national ID and photo, it actually has to be in JPEG or PNG format. The system will not allow you to actually upload your photo if it's in PDF. This is just a simple ID for illustration purposes, but you need to actually input the correct national ID. Also, you upload your photo, and this is also in JPEG format. Okay, so here you've done the registration process for a client who's got an existing CSD number and a client who doesn't have. You get this email notification that you're almost there. It's the stage-by-stage process. You now need to click on the verification link that is sent to your email. If you do not get it to your inbox, you can actually check either in your junk or spam folder. I've opened my email, and this is the email that you will receive when you register. You will need to complete the process by clicking where it says click here to verify your account. Once you do that, it shows that your account has been verified, it has been activated, and you can now log in your account. Take note that because your account has been verified, the selected broker that you've chosen still has to approve your account. So it means that that will take up to about 48 to 72 hours for that account to be approved and to be authenticated, and for you to then be allocated a CSD number for you to actually start trading on ZSE Direct. So this is the simple process of how to register on ZSE Direct. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email us on zse.direct@zse.co.zw. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much there, Tapio. That was Mrs. Tapio just giving us perspective in regard of how to actually make this account functional. And of course, Mrs. Tapio is the marketing and corporate affairs manager with the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, just giving us a blow-by-blow account of how this will obviously pan out when you go onto the platform, when you want to register so that you can be able to trade. Now, as we continue with this launch, we're going to hear more from the Business Development Director at the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, that's Mr. Enimo Taruvinga, as he now takes you through the nitty-gritties of you've registered, so what's next? How do you now actively participate? And to just obviously give you more perspective with regards to that, let's give you over to Mr. Taruvinga. It's all yours.
Thank you, McDonald. And good morning once again. Welcome to this virtual launch for ZSE Direct. I would like to apologize for a late start and the loss of voice, I think, when we commenced this transmission. I'm going to take you through how to actually place a buy and how to do a sell through ZSE Direct. So as my colleague Tapio has been sharing, ZSE Direct is meant for a first-time investor on the stock exchange. We have made it a user-friendly application, and we have also put in some features there that will assist a first-time investor to be able to navigate the stock market. So I'm going to log in using my account and demonstrate to you how you can actually first of all fund your wallet, because you need to fund your wallet for you to be able to buy shares on the stock exchange. So let me log in using my details. Once you have successfully logged in, and that is after the 48 to 70 hours that Tapio shared, that it takes about 48 to 72 hours for your account to actually be enabled for you to start investing on the stock exchange. In that time frame, your selected stockbroker will just be authenticating your KYC, and if you don't have a CSD account, they'll also be doing the account opening for you during that time. So once you have been allocated a central securities depository account, it means you now have got a repository where your securities can now be captured, and you can also now actually start investing on the stock exchange. So this is the main dashboard that you'll come across once you've successfully logged in. And as you can see, it has got in bright colors your profile, your buy and sell tabs. But first of all, we want to fund the account so that you are able to place a buy order. So the funding, you are given two options. You can use your bank or through EcoCash. We are directly connected through EcoCash, and we are operating with one of the commercial banks on this platform. We will try first funding through EcoCash. So when you click the EcoCash tab, it then opens this page, and what you need to do is you have to put in the minimum amount there. So in terms of the minimum for ZSE Direct, it's $500, 500 Zimbabwean dollars. So I'm going to type in 500 there, and then you have to put in the number that you actually used to open the account. And you have to use that format that is there. So you don't put a 0, you just put the number 77. And then you click proceed. If someone can give me my phone. Once you click proceed, it actually sends a message to your phone, and you have to put your PIN. And once you've put your PIN, it actually gives you an update on the platform directly that your transaction has been successful and you're actually being thanked for topping up. So now that I've got money in my wallet, I can proceed to do a buy order. And this is the tab that will open up. Let's try to buy some art shares. So one of the features that we have put on ZSE Direct to also make it easy for a first-time investor is the market depth functionality. So once you select a counter from the drop-down menu, it actually opens the market depth feature on your right-hand side. So just to explain a bit on the market depth feature, it actually shows you the top 10, up to the top 10 best orders that will be in the platform at that particular moment in time. And these are both the buy and sell. So in blue, those will be the orders from other buyers on the market. And then in pink, those are orders from people that are actually selling their securities. So if you are coming in as a buyer, you have to look out for what the seller is actually looking out for. So in this case, you see that the top offers, we have got someone selling 22,000 shares there at 2.2575. So if I'm an astute buyer and actually want my order to actually go through and match, I'll simply have to see what the offers are in the market and try to match their price and quantity so that my order gets priority to be executed. Being a small buyer that I am, perhaps I want to just buy 500 shares. I'll put in my 500 as the quantity. And then on the price, the bid price that I'm going to put, you also notice that we've put a feature there that allows you to know what the price range is. So the market operates on circuit breakers, which is currently 20% both up and down. So in terms of circuit breakers, what it means is that the previous closing price is a reference price for tomorrow's trading session. And in the trading session today, the price that you can only trade should not exceed 20% of the previous day's closing price. Neither should it go below 20% of the previous day's trading price. So we have put a range there that will show you the range that is acceptable. And you also have to note that we also have got minimum tick sizes for the prices, which is a cent. So the price that you have to put has to be in increments of 1 cent. Fractions of a cent means it's not in sync with the minimum tick size, so that price will not be accepted. So let me put my bid at perhaps 2.25, and it will also show you the total cost for that bid, except for the transaction charges. They've not been factored in yet. You then have to select the time in force for your order. For now, we have just put 2 types of orders, which is a day order. A day order will expire on the same day that you actually put it. So at the end of the trading session today, that is at 12 sharp, that order will actually expire if it hasn't been executed. And what it means is good for you in that if you want to change your order the following day, you can actually change it. You can also select a good till cancelled order. With a good till cancelled order, it has got a validity period of 30 days. It will expire after 30 days in the system. That one is for those that may not want to be logging in on a daily basis and seeing what the market is like. So if the order doesn't execute in the session today, it will still be in the system for the next 30 days. For me, I will put a day order and then I go on to place my order. So it takes you to this tab, which then shows the order details, just a summary of the order details. So you've got your symbol, your price, the volume that I put, the time in force, the cost, and the total transaction charges, and the total cost after factoring the charges for that order. If I'm happy with this detail, I then go on to confirm that I'm happy with that. So it has actually said order has successfully been placed, and it's now on my pending working orders report. So this is how you go about placing an order. You can actually view the status of that order, and it will show you whether the order is matched or not. So currently it's still pending. It means it's still pending to be executed. Once it has been executed and once it has been matched, it will actually send you an email to notify you that your order has been executed and matched, and show you the details, that is the price that it would have been matched. If it is partially fulfilled, it will also indicate that. Now we want to also go through how you actually place a sell order. So for you to be able to place a sell order, please take note that the settlement cycle for the market is T+3. What it means is when you buy shares today, you will not be able to sell them on the same very day. You have to wait for the shares to reflect in your CSD account, which is a process of 4 days. So the date of transaction and then 3 days for the settlement process to be completed. So on the 4th day, that's when you should expect your CSD account to be credited with the securities that you would have purchased. So you have to wait for that long, and on the 4th day, we are assuming that the shares would have settled and they should be in your CSD account. In my case, when you're placing a sell order, it will only select the securities that are actually in your CSD account. This is to ensure that there will be no short selling. That is for you to sell shares that you actually don't own. So on the drop-down menu for the sell tab, you'll see that it just picks the securities that are currently in my CSD account. So currently I just have got 3 counters in my account. Let me try to sell some medtech today. And it will also show you the market depth for that counter. So you'll see there's also the buy side and the sell side. In this case, since I'm the seller, I'm more interested in knowing what the bid side looks like. So my highest bidder is looking for 29,600 shares there, and they are paying 8 cents for that counter. So I'll specify my quantity, and in the select counter tab, it actually shows me the total amount of shares that I have. So I've got 1,900 medtech shares. Let me sell perhaps 500. And again, it will also show you the price range that is acceptable. Perhaps let me match the highest bid that is there. So because the total value is $40, you see that if I try to proceed on this order, it will actually not be acceptable because there's a minimum that should go through. So you see, it's showing me an error that this order is not meeting the minimum requirements. So the minimum on the ATS platform is either a minimum of 100 shares or a minimum of $100 worth when you're disposing. So I have to increase my quantity there. Perhaps let me put 1,500. Now I'm within the acceptable range, and I have to reselect my counter and put my day order, and then proceed to place a buy order. So it will also take you to this verification link, which you have to just, for you to check whether the details are correct. And once you are happy, you can confirm your order. So it also gives you that confirmation that the order has been successfully placed, and you now have to wait for that message in your email to check if the order would have matched for that particular day. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you actually go through the platform. We have shown you how you can actually fund your wallet. Perhaps let me just demonstrate how you fund your wallet using your bank account. We did demonstrate using EcoCash. So with funding your account using your bank, you click here where it says ZIM switch. It then opens this tab where you also have to put in the amount. And then it's going to show you the bank account that you are supposed to actually fund the amount from. So please take note that it's not automatically going to deduct from your bank account from this platform. You actually have to move. Once you click proceed, it gives you certain details that you then use either directly on your bank application, or you have to actually use your USSD code for your bank to do either a ZIP or an RTGS. So it will give you the bank account. So we are using ZB Bank, and it will also show you the bank name, the account name, which is ZSE Mobile Trading. It will also show you the bank account number that you have to transfer the funds to, and there's also a reference number. The reference number is quite important. So once you have got these details, you move out from this platform, go to your bank application, so either through your mobile device or through online. You then log into your bank platform, and you then send either a ZIP or an RTGS transfer, the amount, which is $505, to this bank account, and you have to cite this reference number. We will then be able to pick from our platform. Once that money hits our ZB account, our system is linked to the account to check using the reference number. So once it corresponds in the bank account and it shows that reference number, our system then picks that reference number and then automatically updates your wallet. So once you have done and you have successfully sent the amount on your bank platform, you then come here and actually click that you have done that. So this notifies the platform that the person has actually funded, and the system will then start checking for that deposit into our ZB account. And once the deposit has been found in the bank, it's actually then updated, and then it reflects in your tradable funds. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We will now revert back to MACD and to proceed, I think, to get and respond to questions that may have come through this presentation. Thank you, and good morning.
Oh, thank you again, Mr. Taravinga, the head business development within the ZSE. The way you articulated that, and we're so fluent in that, I thought, my job is at risk here. You could easily take it. No wonder you chose the ZSE. You can sell ice to an Eskimo. But just some questions, getting into it. A message coming through from Stanford here saying, thank you. We've been waiting for this opportunity and this platform for a long time. Now, my question that will start off here, Mr. Taravinga, with you is, you talked about some of your trading partners. Maybe if you could articulate further the key banking partners or the key transactional partners that you have, as well as, it's a two-pronged question. And then, of course, let's look at the role of the stockbrokers within this ZSE Direct arrangement.
All right, thank you, McDonald. I'll take both questions. So in terms of the partners that we're working with, in terms of the banking platform, we are on ZB Bank. So ZB Bank is one of the settlement banks currently on our market. And the reason why we chose ZB Bank is that we wanted to make it cost efficient on the platform. So all the stockbroking firms in the industry all actually have got an account with ZB Bank. So for the inter-account, because once you actually place a buy order through the platform, we also need to proceed and send those funds to the counterpart stockbroker that you have selected for the trade to actually settle. So the broker is the one that is doing the settlement, and they'll need to receive the funds at the end of the day. So to make it cost efficient, we decided to open ZSE Direct with one of the banks that is actually a settlement bank currently on ZSE Direct. But I would hasten to say that being a commercial bank, it is on the RTGS platform, it's also on the ZIP platform. So all other banks within Zimbabwe, you can actually directly send money to that account using either your ZIP or your RTGS. That works well. Then in terms of the trading participants, So the way it works on ZSE Direct is that we also, with that spirit of trying to make it cost effective on the ultimate investor, there are two models that are currently available in the platform, on the market. We have got a custodial model for settlement in our market. And there are two ways you can actually have a custodian. One is an independent custodian, who is normally a subsidiary of a bank. And we've got a custodial model where you can choose a stockbroker to be both your trading participant and also your custodian. So the model that works most effectively for retail investors is where your stockbroker is also your custodian. But not all stockbrokers have got custodial rights. So the stockbrokers that are currently on the platform are those that have signed up for ZSE Direct, that's first of all. So the brokers do agree to be on the platform because there's some work which they have to do. So we didn't want to impose the platform on them. So those that are on the platform actually signed up and they've consented to actually work with us. But secondly, it's also those that have got custodial rights in terms of the settlement side that can only be eligible on the platform. And the reason for that model is to make it cost effective for the ultimate investor. We didn't want our retail investors be using the more expensive model of an independent custodian. So we are working with a broker-controlled custodial model in this platform. But investors are still free to actually open directly accounts with their stockbrokers of their choice, and they'll still be able to participate on the market.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Now, another question that's coming through with regards to this ZSE Direct platform, Mr. Taringa, is the question that the functionality of this platform for those that are in the diaspora that might want to purchase shares on the bourse. Let's talk a bit about that.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, because of the nature of the market and the issues of anti-money laundering acts that we have to comply with, we were given a dispensation by our regulators in 2017 to operate what we call a light KYC model, which also suits the retail market that we are targeting. So with that model, we rely on third-party KYC verification. What it means is that as the ZSE and as the providers of this platform, the KYC that we are actually collecting is not the total KYC that would be required under normal circumstances for someone to open a trading account. So ordinarily, you would then be required to furnish your proof of residence and perhaps certified ID and proof of source of funds. But on this platform, you're only collecting a copy of your ID and your photo. We are not going to ask your proof of residence. We are relying that anyone who comes on that platform has got a local bank account where they ordinarily, in the course of opening that bank account, were then required to submit the full KYC for them to open that account. So on that basis, what it means is for anyone to be able to participate on the platform, they need to have a local bank account. And that gives us the assurance that they have fully complied with the KYC requirements. Then secondly, they also need to have a local number. So for opening an account for someone who has got a CSD already, there's a second level authentication where the platform actually sends you an SMS. And for now, the messaging platform that we are working with only sends to local numbers. So for those in their diaspora, we would love very much to have them on the platform currently, but there are limitations in terms of how we can collect their KYC on this platform that meets all the requirements. So in the initial phase, it may not be possible for someone who doesn't have a local bank account and local number to actually open an account. But we are looking at upgrading this platform. So we'll be going on version 2 quite soon. And on version 2, that's when we are looking at the functionality of then encompassing opening accounts for those that are in the diaspora. So currently that may then change the model for them to actually then work through independent custodians who will then have to collect that KYC on their behalf, and then they will also have to then open accounts with the custodians. That's the model that actually works for foreign clients. So in the next version, but not in the initial version, but we are looking out to actually have a second version of this platform that caters for their diaspora. So apologies for that, but it's just a matter of a time delay. We are going to cater for the diaspora in the phase 2 of the platform.
All right. Then the next set of questions that I'm going to ask Mr. Tarunga is, obviously this is alluding to the time frame within which one can get a CSD number, and then also another one saying, what if you already have, this Tinashe Mugaro saying, what if you already have a stockbroker and don't want to have a different CSD? And then lastly, can first-time users choose the stockbroker of their choice?
Okay, so let me start with the last one. So yes, first-time users have got the ability to select. Currently, we have got 7 stockbroking firms signed up on the platform. They can choose any of those 7. And sorry, I missed the other 2 questions.
The other one, the Tinashe was asking whether if you already have a stockbroker and don't want to have a different CSD, is that possible? And then the other one was asking the turnaround time for one to have a CSD number from point of application to getting it.
All right. So for those that have got a CSD account number already and they want to select a different stockbroker, that's quite possible. What happens on the market is your primary CSD account will not change, but you will have a sub-account being created on the same number. So it will just change the prefix on your primary CSD account. So the primary CSD account will have a suffix of 0001. So when you select a different stockbroker from the one that actually created that primary account, the second stockbroker will then create a suffix 002 or 003, depending on how many sub-accounts you have got. So you can actually have sub-accounts on the same CSD number, and you can indeed use a different broker on the platform.
All right. Getting a question here from our platform on Heart and Soul. Remember, this is the official launch of ZSE Direct, an online platform that clients can get access to purchase or to sell shares. And we're just having a conversation right now with Mr. Enimo Tarunga, the head of business development at the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. Getting onto the Heart and Soul platform, there are other questions being asked. Can you buy with Visa card? This is from Victor. And then are we accessing, this is Stanford Nkomo, are we accessing the platform directly or we're going via brokers? I know you did allude to that, but just for clarity's sake, I'm sure that's important. And then lastly, we're getting a question from Dan Cruz saying, how do you access your money from EcoCash? And when you sparing for the first time, when you're, I'm not quite sure what the word there, for the first time, when you're starting for the first time, do you have to deposit your money to your account so as to begin buying and selling shares?
All right, so 3 questions there.
Yes.
So let me just fix my mic. Okay, so the first one was on the use of a Visa card. So we didn't want to preempt this, but I think the market may be aware that we're also working on a platform that will trade in US dollars, and we're actually planning to have that platform up and running quite soon. So on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, it's principally trading in local currency. So unless if your Visa card is just a local currency Visa card, my assumption is that the Visa card is actually a USD card. We don't have a conversion facility currently on the platform to convert foreign currency to local currency directly. So on that, you'd need to, first of all, have local currency in your bank account or your EcoCash wallet for you to transact on ZSE Direct, because it's trading in local currency. But we are working to have this platform also available on the exchange that will be trading in United States dollars. So your Visa card will actually work quite well on that platform. Then the other questions again, Magdi?
The other question had to do with the fact that they were asking whether they can, for the first time trade, do they have to use their bank account or they can go straight ahead and use EcoCash?
Right. So any platform on the platform itself. So the EcoCash first time it's quite possible. Your bank account first time is also possible. So you are not restricted to either using your bank or your EcoCash. You can fund your wallet from any of those 2 options from the start.
Mm-hmm. And our last 2 questions is before we prepare to get to hear from, of course, the CEO. Fabiano here is saying, other brokers which you're already using that are not on the platform, what do we do? And then the next one from Arthur Shop is, when can we expect a mobile app version of the platform?
Okay, so the mobile app version, let me start with that, is actually being constructed as we speak, but I will try not to preempt when we are going to launch it, but let me just confirm that we're actually working on the mobile version of this app, and at the right time of launching, we actually then come back to the market again and announce the launch of that app. And the other question was on whether if I need my brokers and they're not on that platform, what do I do? You, first of all, I would urge those clients to nudge their stockbrokers to actually ask them why, nicely of course, why they are not on the platform. But in the meantime, you are free to actually select any other stockbroker that is currently on the platform. Let me hasten to say that all the members of the stock exchange are equally good in terms of execution. Trading is automated. Probably what they differ is the customer service. But on this platform, there's no physical interaction. So any broker that you select is actually as good as the next one. And the transaction costs are also similar, irrespective of the stockbroker that you select. So either ask your stockbroker to apply to be on the platform, or probably just try to use one of the brokers that are currently on the platform.
The last few statements, and I know I'll be able to just ask one more question, but the last were more, positive comments. Well done, ZSE, for putting a face to the work. But there are some questions that have to do with how do you, as a first timer, know which shares to trade in? How do you retrieve historical prices? And I understand that this is, among the first of many webinars that we'll be seeing where the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange engages with the public in terms of just dishing out information. Maybe if you could shed some more light on that.
Thank you, McDonald. And let me start with how to access information. So on the platform as well, perhaps one of the features that I skipped in my earlier presentation is that we put a market watch directly on the platform. So I've actually scrolled and you will be able to see the market information in real time. So you'll be able to see the year high, the year low, the opening price, the last traded price, the closing price every day that you actually log into this platform. So that information will be available. So it actually brings to you real-time market data. And in terms of your other question, sorry.
In terms of parceling out information that is pertinent for people, for first timers.
Oh, okay, for first time. So. Yeah. For stock selection, unfortunately, ethics and professionalism binds us from the ZSE perspective not to really offer investment advice. That's the reason why we work as an ecosystem. We've got the stockbrokers, we've got financial advisors, we've got fund managers that are also market participants, and investors are actually free to approach any of those to seek for investment advice. What we only provide from the ZSE perspective is training. So we've got a training institute which is also linked to this platform. So if you scroll up, there's actually a link on the landing page. You will notice that we have got a link to our training institute. So if you go on that training institute, it actually takes you through the process of actually how you can take off the market as a first-time investor. So there are free courses that you find on that website. We also do webinars. We're going to be doing webinars as part of the support for this platform. So in those webinars, we're going to be inviting independent people to actually come and then talk about those topics that we cannot speak from the ZSE perspective. So actually look out in the next week, we're actually going to be doing our first webinar on ZSE Direct. We have professionals there that are going to speak to how you can actually build wealth and how you can actually create your own portfolio. We are also going to be inviting stockbrokers to actually also take you through the aspects of investing on the stock exchange. So our support from the ZSE perspective is training and those webinars, but independently, investors can also approach any of the stockbrokers or any of the independent financial advisors for expert advice on how to navigate the markets.
All right. Well, thank you again, Mr. Taravinga, Mr. Animo Taravinga, just giving us his presentation as well as answering some of the questions that are there on the different platforms that we are airing this particular broadcast on. And remember, if you want to continue engaging on conversation, go to the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange page on Facebook, like it and follow the thread. You will be answered and you will be attended to. So go right ahead and do that, as well as follow Heart and Soul Zim. And of course, we've got this particular broadcast, and you get to know more about this particular
Good morning.
some
We are
of the
pleased
other business products that we have. But as we said earlier on, we initially started with the Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, Mr. Justin Woni, and we had a bit of a challenge with our sound. We apologize for that, but now we're ready for that. And Keith, I know you're working with the team. If you could have that video.
Good morning. We are pleased to announce that we are launching a new product today called ZSE Direct. ZSE Direct is a platform that allows members of the public to be able to buy shares on ZSE. Okay, so there are several benefits that are there on doing this. So the first one is that if you have shares elsewhere and you've got a depository account, you can bring it on the platform. So you can have a one-stop shop where you can monitor all your portfolio. Then the second one is that what we have there is that we have what we call a market depth, which some of my colleagues will explain later on, where you can now match the orders that are on the market. This is a tool that is mainly available to professionals that we are now making available to the public. Then the third one is that in terms of your wallet, we make it very easy for you to top up your wallet. We just need to deposit the money into the bank account, and it automatically updates the wallet. So it's still low that the brokers have to be involved, because the brokers are the ones who are responsible for finalizing the transaction. But what you need to do is you don't have to talk to them. You can just select a broker on the platform. We have got EcoCash on the platform. We still don't have the Net1 wallet yet, but we are working towards that. But in terms of the bank account, you just need to deposit the money into a bank account. And once you have deposited the money into a bank account with a reference number, our system automatically picks up that money and automatically updates your wallet. Okay? You can never always give the 100% thumbs up, but we are very comfortable in terms of the robustness of what we have. We have, of course, got it tested by an external third party to make sure that it's robust, and we'll be monitoring very much the next few months to make sure that it works properly. What we have done is we know that, so that's why we started with a simple platform first. We started with the web first. Once people are comfortable with the web, then we can move to mobile apps and other processes. Mm-hmm. So the other thing is that what most people don't understand is that when you want to buy shares on ZSE, you can't just put any price. It has to be within the 20% range of the previous day. That's why when most people want to buy shares on ZSE, they put in an order and it never gets fulfilled, because they're putting a price that is outside the range. So we know that people don't know that. So what we've done is the app guides you towards that. So the app will tell you what range you need to put in. So you can't just come up with any number. Otherwise, your order never gets matched. Mm-hmm. So you can't be too high or too low. There's a range. It's a 20% range. So for example, if the share price of that share was $1 the day before, the only price that you're allowed to do is between 80 cents and $1.20. You can't put $40, for example, you can put 60 cents. And what we've noticed is that most people, they just come up with a price. And when they do that, then there's frustration, because then their price never gets matched. Our app helps you quite a lot of that. We give you a range. We tell you what range to do. And as I said, the market depth, which is the tool that professionals have, is even better. Because now you can actually see what our orders are on the market. And if you want to match with someone, you can automatically match your order and get a buy or sell that you want. Mm. We think that is a very big thing, because now people can actually go in and place their order. So for us, what we want to do over the next few weeks is we don't want, the app for us is a tool for people to create wealth. Our aim is for people in Zimbabwe to create wealth and to consider ZSE as part of the wealth creation. So what we are going to do over the next few months is to have seminars. And the seminars are going to cover 3 areas. So the first area is going to be more about financial literacy. So we're going to help people in terms of budgeting and on all the other things, financial literacy. Then the second part of that seminar is going to be on how you can use ZSE Direct in terms of buying shares on ZSE. Then the third aspect is going to be trading techniques. We've partnered with people who have bought shares already on ZSE, who knows what to do. So they'll then give you techniques and tips on how you're going to do it. So our aim is going to be inclusive. We really want to help Zimbabweans create wealth. So the app is just a tool. The app is not the end product itself. We just want to partner with people on financial literacy, how the app helps you, and also in terms of trading techniques. That's what we're going to do. It's wealth creation. The app happens to be just a tool. That is not our main thrust.
Words coming through from the Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, Mr. Justin Woni. Just officially launching the ZSE Direct platform. And of course, remember, it's an online platform where you can buy or you can sell your shares. Go ahead to the website and you can get a hold of this. And of course, get your CSD number and get trading. Many thanks for being with us. And remember to keep following the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange on the Facebook page as we go virtual. Zimbabwe Stock Exchange on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And this was broadcast in partnership with Heart and Soul on the Business Show, Business First with McDonald Gurura. Many thanks for being with us today and continue engaging us on this conversation. You can go ahead and like our page, Heart and Soul Zim, on Facebook. And let's go ahead and do that. On behalf of the technical team, the rest of the ZSE team that made this event happen, many thanks for being with us. This is Business First, and I'm McDonald Gurura.